Greetings, family, and welcome to Magnus Crystal's Pyramids. I'm your host, Uncle Unk. We're about to start, and we're going to begin with the opening. So hang in there. Let me just move through here. Do our invocation.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Welcome home, family, and join us for the fun. Colorful guests, people everywhere under the sun. Interesting conversations. Prayers first has begun. Invocation, manifestation, conversation then will come. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramid. Let's start drinking some water, juice or tea. Kinkilibers recommended for you and me. Guayusa mixed together, maple syrup or honey. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Learn from the healers, crystals, pyramid. Learn from the healers, the artists, the seers, authors and teachers, dissolving your fears. Workshops of wisdom, the circle is wide. Plant medicine whispers, the planets align. No magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Crystals and pyramids, magnets that spin. Organ awakening the power within. Tantra and herbs, the gateways ignite. Shamanic drums calling truth into light. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Psychedelics painting vision so bright. Planetary activists guarding the night. Awareness expanding the cosmos in view. Higher vibrations are flowing through you. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Hey. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Xenon and herbs, you'll feel much better. Drink your tea now instead of later. Stay ahead of your health. Health is always your greatest wealth. Oh, no, no. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Hey. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Mad science fun, tear the blast. Experiments under the sun. Sacred fire, prayers begun. Success and happiness, your destiny has come. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Yeah, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Learn.
All right, family. You saw the disclaimers. That is a must-have. I want to thank everyone now and in the future. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving airport adolescence of your youth. We've been having some fantastic fun, highly informative information. Uh, just so that you know, I created while we're waiting for the featured guest, I created my first uh, healing knot bracelet. And the funny thing about knots, family, it has an ancient history throughout all of the world, all the religions of the world, all the cultures of the world. They all embrace the science of knots. Let me see. I got a text here. Oops. You got it now? Okay. Let me know, family, if you can hear me. If you can hear my sound uh, in the comments. I want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself. Thank you, Brother G. Uh, getting back to the knots. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, good. Thank you, Hanan. This is some powerful, forgotten. Modern days have forgotten the power of the knots. It's been used by Islamic roots, Christian, Judaism, Hindu. Everybody were into sacred knots for the purpose of health, repelling negativity, healing, regeneration. And we have gotten so advanced that we have forgotten the roots of the power of knots. So I want to thank and invite the forces of nature into this show tonight. I want to thank and invite you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being born, as I said before. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the trepidous times from conception to the age of 7, because we have sometimes deep, powerful programs, for better or worse, that can impact and travel through most of our lives. And here in this particular time, if you was born and you're alive now, you're really a soul wave of Marines, that you have literally survived the first wave. Some people you know, some people you don't know have made it. We're not even at the end of the year. And so be mindful, be thoughtful, be careful, because we're in the harvest season. And I hope with all my heart that all of your friends, family, loved ones will make it through until next year. So I thank and invite Yeshua, Black Madonna, Mary of Magdalene. Yeah, I got a picture of him. There's Mother Mary. I want to thank and invite Archangel Michael. And listen, family, we're in crazy times now. This is where the robberies and the assaults go up because people are in desperation. A lot of jobs are dropping. A lot of financial challenges is happening. The price of gold is over $4,100 the last time I checked. The price of silver is over $50 an ounce. Family, the dollar is dying. Platinum is almost $2,000 an ounce. So this is a time that I want you to sensitize. For those of you who live outside the city, I want you to know how to hear the whisper, the cry of gold, silver in the earth. You can do it, family. You can sensitize yourself to hear the call of gold, 24 karat gold inside the earth, silver inside the earth. Don't be so head heavy that you haven't tapped into the faculties that saved us. We want to thank and invite Lady Buddha, Lady Krishna, El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. We want to thank and invite Enoch, who ascended into the heavens and became Metatron, Sanat Kumara. We want to thank and invite our Atlantean brothers and sisters. I think I mentioned Saint Germain, who is also in this skin suit for theatrical purposes, is Jehudi. And this skin suit brother, when I did ayahuasca, we know as Nikolai Tesla. I said, "Who are you really, brother?" And he said, "I am a Menhotep." He zipped out of the skin suit and showed me he was a bald headed brother, all right, trying to bring Europeans into the golden age of antiquity. And they were too short sighted, too cross eyed to understand that electricity and power was used in the golden age of ancient times. I'm talking about tens and thousands of years ago. Free electricity, free communication. So right now we're in a post golden age. We're in the stone age on a global level. And so we have illuminated souls that we feature that have a ministry of information, a ministry of health. So that's what we do here, because information right now is the real currency, and networking can bring us through this storm. As Muhammad Ali said to George Foreman while he was fighting, he said, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got?" So, whatever may come through uh, at this time, remember, we can handle it. I want to bring on Kafunya. I want to thank and invite, forces of nature that live inside of us: Ilegba, Oshun, Yemaya, Oya, Olokun, Shango, Obatala, Orumila, Ochosi, all of these pressure points, forces of nature that's within us. We thank and invite ascended masters. Okay, well, let's do this real quick. Ascended masters from Orion, Palladian, Andromeda, galaxies, star systems. We ask magic presence, the sea of spirit that lives around us. We ask for a global coup of golden enlightenment of every man, woman, child throughout the world. Yes, I am the magic golden coup of enlightenment upon every man, woman, child throughout the world. We say Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado, Amen, Amen. So let it be spoken, so let it be done. Let's bring on Kafunya. Hey, Kafunya, how you doing? Turn your mic on, girl.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right, here comes our our featured guest tonight. I like calling him Professor Haru. I don't know how you pronounce
Yes.
the rest of your name, brother. How you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm on top of the world. How are you?
Oh shoot, I'm riding my bike around the world, but it's a work in progress. So we're gonna have you because you are the one that. Oh, yo, bro, I'm on probation. Let me tell y'all right now. Uh, this station is on probation, so
Uh-oh.
please use uh,
Metaphors.
metaphors and the appropriate semantics so that I could wake up in the morning and still have a YouTube channel, because
Yes. Mm.
I have so many in the spirit of wanting to share with the family, in the spirit of Ubuntu. Um, they done locked my ass up a few times. And right now they got an ankle chain on me here at YouTube. So Professor Haru, in your brilliance, please help a brother out. Please help a brother. Oh, you know what? Before we continue, in the private chat, uh, no, wait a second. I think I can do it because I've been talking about you with Sister Sunada, Brother Laji, and can't even think of all the family members. So I'm going to make a banner. But go ahead and introduce yourself, Kafunya. Let
Yeah.
Haru, y'all work it out as far as how you want to do this while I type up the banner.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank each and everyone for tuning in, because you could have been somewhere else and you're at the right place at the right time to get the right information with the receipts. With this brother Haru, I know he's been on tour. He's doing a tour right now, and uh, first of all, I got to give a shout out to King Simon, because
That's my brother.
King Simon didn't know that myself and brother Haru go, many moons back or forward. So that whole relationship started with Brother HERU linking up with me via King Simon, and Brother HERU had to let King Simon know, yeah, man, me know Kofunya. And so that brought the relationship between Haru, shout out to Monique at Nicholas Brooklyn, and myself, because I feel what he is bringing to the table is vital to our communities.
Yes.
And, when you have, what good is having knowledge if you're not putting it into practice? And this brother, it's an honor to work with him and to promote him. He's putting he's in the biblical vibration in terms of sacred books and whatnot that talk about the healing of the nation and the different herbs and whatnot. And because we have taken on a foreign entity, we are having these issues that have been plaguing our communities for a minute. So I just want to, give thanks and praise for this reunion once again at Nicholas Brooklyn. He's not only going to be at Nicholas Brooklyn, he's going to be at two other locations as well. On October 24th, we welcome in. Brooklyn have to welcome in the greats, so we welcoming him in on October 24th at Nicholas Brooklyn. Make sure you be there. If you don't be there, I don't understand, because this is about reclaiming our well-being to be the greatest version of ourselves, and then he's moving on to the Bronx at the Earth Apocryphy shop in Co-op City, and he's going to be talking about all of that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce
Kofonia, you
my.
forgot.
I
You
forgot
forgot
what. What?
that if people can't be in person,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So there's a good chance that if people are not able to make it outside of the New York tri-state area, because New York tri-state area can make it. But let's say if you're in London, if you're in England, if you're in Missouri, you know, we will have a live stream for you so you can see what's going on. So that information will
that's
be,
Eventbrite.
it may be on Eventbrite. I'm
Oh, I
not sure.
remember. Listen, Monique, remember that text? Monique is saying, "What about all this Eventbrite?" You know, she had
Yeah.
a yeah. So
Well,
text
well,
me that
we'll,
Eventbrite link so I could put it in the show description. So those who are disabled and may not be able to be in person, or they're too far to fly, um, like Kafunya said, they can be a part of the digital collective and enjoy the brilliant presentation that is second to none. I mean, the PowerPoint presentation the brother comes up with, you know, I,
receipts,
woo!
real
So,
receipts from the 1800s or the 1900s too, plus live beings, and with live testimonies of what this beautiful brother has done. Well, not has done, continues to do. And I know, Brother Haru, are you going to speak a little bit about your recent experience with the pills? I would love to hear all about that. Or is that up and coming?
Yeah, I can talk about that. I can talk about the recent lecture in Atlanta as well. And by the way, in terms of receipts, there's a brother calling in. He'll be calling in the next couple of minutes in the tri-state area who was a customer of mine who had stage 3 prostate cancer. And he's going to be calling in and telling you all
Okay.
about his experience. So this will not be a YouTube blockage thing of any medical claims per se. It's going to be someone telling their story.
And I
Nick,
think we're still allowed to tell our stories, right?
yes, he's going to tell his story. He had stage 3 prostate cancer with 97% of his prostate covered in tumors. And
ooh,
and he met me and he began the herbal results protocol. And about 3 months later, no evidence of disease, cancer free. And this was about a year and a half ago. And he did no radiation, no chemotherapy, nothing. and he's in tip-top health now. And it's going to show when you eradicate the problem, you eradicate the problem. We're not talking about remission.
Band-aids.
Yeah, we're not talking about remission and it coming back even stronger. He's going to tell the story. He's going to give it, because I give a lot of these lectures, and as Kafunia said, I give receipts, but the best receipt is human receipts.
A live receipt. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes, yes.
there's a brother going to call in, because I know there's a lot of men suffering from prostate issues. And I get these calls all the time, and I'm just telling you what this brother did and what he took. You know, he took the olive leaf extract and he changed his diet to a ketogenic, non-inflammatory diet, cut out the sugar, cut out the carbohydrates. He'll talk about his progress. But before then, he thought he was going to die. He was bedridden, and he had swelling all over his body. He's going to tell you all the story. His name is Crawford Peterson. He'll be calling in.
Great.
Professor Heru, you can
Yeah.
if he calls in, he's gonna call through your number.
No, I gave him the link.
The
Okay, yeah.
StreamYard.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he can come right. I'll keep an eye out looking for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he's going to come on camera and all that.
Oh, okay, cool,
You all
cool,
get
cool.
to see him, know that this is a real person. He's going to tell his story. And he's actually one of the people on our website, herbalresults.net. And there's over a dozen reversals there on different forms of cancer. It's on the site, and people can watch it. We're going to be giving lectures. I think in New York, we have some more people, and so we're going to have them invited to the lectures as well. But the point is that what I do is I show people the scientific evidence that's on the U.S. government website, and I show you the research that I've done. I show you the types of herbs and the types of things that work, and then I share with you the results. And then now I'm doing it a step further, where I'm having the people tell you their results. And I'm not saying this to like say that nobody's doing great work. What I'm saying is that it's quite rare to find the medical establishment or other people to show you live examples of people who've been healed. This should become a standard, right? If you're sick, you should have a right to ask your doctor references of people who have been with that doctor and who've gotten reversals. And can you call them and can you speak to them? Before you give me this XYZ medicine or medication or therapy, I'd like to know like one or two people who've done this in the last 365 days who've been healed. You have a right to ask that question. And if somebody's truly an expert in what they say that they are, they'll freely give you this information. And so this is what I'm providing. And, when I give these lectures, I provide evidence of what I'm talking about. And I think that this should become a standard.
Special acknowledgement to Catherine Davis. Special appreciation to Red Pill, Blue Pill, King Simon, Brother Rich, and everyone who's striving to thrive in their health. And I appreciate your ministry, your message, bro, because the way you bring the present family, the way he does the presentation,
Talk about it.
Powerful. It's almost like I know you got. Tell us a little bit about your history, brother. How you got into this, and what the way you present it, man, kind of blew me away. I never heard anybody, so-called herbalists. Some of them good, some of them questionable. But let people know what's your background with the plant kingdom.
So, my background is, you probably have to start with my grandfather, then my father. My grandfather was a pharmacist in Ghana. He used to make his own concoctions in the 1940s in Ghana. And my father was a trauma surgeon in Chicago. Wow. And so I grew up, and the first doctors I knew were all Black men and women. So the first brain surgeon I met is a Black brain surgeon from South Africa, Dr. Tepeti. His name was Dr. Tepeti. He's one of my father's colleagues. So for me, that's all I knew. I knew Black heart surgeons, Black brain surgeons, Black lung specialists. These were my father's friends.
Wow.
It never became like a hard stretch for me to follow in those footsteps or for me to do anything on that level. So I went to university to become a brain surgeon because I
Mm.
wanted to deal with like the most powerful part of the human body, which is the brain, controls everything. So I went there to become a brain surgeon. And it was never, I never saw it as like something like that incredible because these are the type of men that I knew, right? These are the black men I was around, right? Like my father would, he'd have gatherings at the house. They would be brain surgeons, heart surgeons, you know, like they were his friends. And so that's all I knew before I knew Caucasian brain surgeons. I knew
Mm.
black brain surgeons, right?
Wow.
And so I was just going to do what I saw, just like, you know, cats in the hood, they see the dope dealer and they want to become a dope dealer. Well, for me, I saw brain surgeons, black brain surgeons and black heart surgeons and these types of people, men of, you know, science. That's who I knew. And so it was not a stretch for me to do the same thing, right? And it's just, and this is also key because it really determines the life of your children, what environment you put them around
Facts.
Facts.
and the people you expose them to, because they'll never, you know, like LeBron James' son didn't think the NBA was out of reach to him. He's 6'2", but his father's LeBron James, and that's who he's been around as athletes. So for him, it was no stretch to become an NBA player or to even try playing basketball. But imagine if little Bronny James, when he was born, he was adopted by a different family.
Mm.
What are the odds that Bronny James would be an NBA player today? The odds would
Facts.
be very slim because it's about the environment that you place your children around. It's very important. So I don't care how impoverished you are, you can still place your children around people. You can make relationships and friendships with people all different walks of life and get mentorship and put your children around different activities, free activities, chess activities, science fairs, these types of things you may think is boring, but it will plant a seed. And so going to medical school and becoming a doctor was casual for me. All right. This was not like a big accomplishment. It was par for the course. Because that's the men that were around me. I'm 8 years old and I'm sitting in a auditorium because my father's teaching surgery to medical students. And I'm sitting there watching him do it. This is what I
Wow.
know. You know, he's teaching surgery to like younger medical students and showing them how to like take out a spleen, take out a gallbladder. Like he's showing them this and he's going step by step. And I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, my father, this is what he does. And so to me, it was like, okay, I could easily do that because that's what he does. Now, so I end up going to school, but something very interesting happens. Before I go to college, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. So at 17 years old, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and it changes my whole worldview. And I start becoming very political, and I get very, very intellectually curious about African and Black history and African and Black politics. I end up at university, and I'm there pursuing a science degree. The degree is biopsychology because they didn't have a neuroscience degree. So you had to get a degree in biopsychology, a double degree in biology and psychology, where you're dealing with the biology of the brain and on the way the brain works. That's the closest thing for the neuroscience degree. Well, while I'm pursuing this degree and taking on my science courses and all of that, I'm getting heavily involved in activism. As I'm getting involved in activism and studying Cheikh Anta Diop and all of these great scholars, Theophilo Benga and, you know, the Anthony, the brother who wrote Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization, Anthony Browder. I'm studying Chancellor Williams' Destruction of Black Civilization. I'm studying, you know, John Henry Clark, and, you know, just the pantheon, Amos Wilson. I'm really immersed in this stuff. and I'm studying science at the same time. It just turns out that I happen to be a good public speaker. And I start getting some Black professors at my school because I went to a predominantly white university called Tufts University in Boston. And I get professors who are like really taking me under their wing. And they tell me, man, you shouldn't go to medical school. You should go to law school. You're really good with public debate. You're really good with public speaking. You have a grasp of, the English language. You could be a real advocate for our people. You should go to law school. And so when I graduated, I took their word seriously. And even though I graduated with a double degree in science and biology and psychology, I ended up going to law school instead of medical school. So I went to law school, and I graduated from law school and practiced law for a couple of years. And this is why I present evidence the way that I present it in the field of health. So now you've got somebody with a science degree and a law degree. So what you'll see when I'm giving my lectures is I'm almost giving a lecture as if it's a jury, a case, and the audience is the jury.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. It's as if it's a trial.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm putting certain questions on trial. And how do you really reverse cancer? How do you really reverse high blood pressure? How do you really reverse diabetes? What's the evidence? What's my experience? What are the receipts that I have? What are the reversals that I've been able to get through this methodology? So anyone who comes to my lectures is very much like a criminal case, and I'm presenting, and it's a jury trial, and the audience has to be convinced of what I'm saying by, without any reasonable doubts. So I think I'm quite successful in doing that.
Yeah, I like your style, bro. I got to tell you, your style, I was highly impressed. So I'm going to ask one question.
Yeah.
Are you also a chess player?
Actually, I don't play chess,
Yeah, because you definitely come across like some chess moves, man.
Yeah. So, what law school does is law school doesn't really teach you how to practice law, but what it does do is because you get out of law school and you don't really know how to try a case, you don't know the papers to file. You're really studying appellate cases as a lawyer. They're not teaching you how to practice law. They're teaching you how to read legal cases, appellate cases. That's really what law school is. And what it does teach you is it teaches you what is referred to as dialectical thinking. So dialectical thinking is the ability to take both sides of an argument and being able to see both sides of an argument and argue both sides of an argument. So dialectical thinking is having thesis and antithesis and making them merge into synthesis. So you can understand both sides. So that is the power of law school. And that's what I got out of law school. And so it allows me to hear people from both angles and then come up with my own ideas. So I could listen to the medical establishment's mutagenic theory of cancer. Then I can do the research on that and then look at their results. Then I can look at the parasitic theory of cancer, look at the research, then I can look at the results.
Wow.
Then I can start synthesizing what works, what doesn't work. And this is why I've been able to do what I've been able to do. So I started out with cannabis years ago. And that was after seeing Run from the Cure from Rick Simpson in Canada, who was reversing these cases, even up to stage 4. The documentary's on YouTube, actually. I think they took it off, and there's pieces of it on. You can go on Rumble and find it. You can go other places. It's called Run from the Cure. Anyone can watch it. You can watch it free online. And it's how he used cannabis oil.
Wow.
And what happened was that they found out that the human body has what you call an endocannabinoid system. It was discovered by a scientist called Dr. Raphael Makhalem in the 1980s. And they found out that the human endocannabinoid system is the most proliferative system in the human body. And it controls homeostasis, which is the perfect resting health of an organism. That's homeostasis. And what it does is that cannabinoids activating the endocannabinoid system activates and triggers homeostasis,
Wow.
where you start balancing out a lot of your health issues. So you've seen the cannabis oil, reverse people's epileptic seizures. I mean, that's been known. It's all over YouTube. Then you've got cancer studies, and you'll see Run from the Cure. And so I started with that. So I started doing plant extractions, medicine from plants. And Rick Simpson was using paint thinner called naphtha, but naphtha is toxic. So what I did was, instead of using naphtha, what I decided to do was use coconut oil, because of the nature of cannabinoids being lipophilic, which is fat soluble. Well, the problem is that as I started giving these lectures and people wanted more cannabis oil, it's a Schedule I drug. And so I could not ship it over state lines. And so what I did was I looked for another plant that would be able to do the same things as cannabinoids. And I found that there were studies on the leaves of the olive tree, olive leaf extract, reversing tumors, cancerous tumors between 9 and 12 days. And I have those studies on my website. So I said 9 and 12 days, this is very promising. And I started making it and doing more research and finding out that there was research on olive leaf extract reversing high blood pressure. And then more research on olive leaf extract reversing diabetes. So I said that, wow, this is like an all-in-one. And then also how it kills viruses, bacterial infections, fungal infections, and parasitic infections. So I endeavored to make large batches of it, gave it to myself, and it got rid of my eczema. And then it got rid of my asthma that I had for years. And then I gave it to friends with high blood pressure, got rid of their high blood pressure. And diabetes, it lowered their blood sugar and got rid of their diabetes. And so it became something very viable that a lot of people were requesting. And then what I did was I got a phone call one day from a guy named Dr. Charles Harrigan, who had prostate cancer. And he called me and said, I'd like to thank you for saving my life. And I asked him what happened. He told me he had prostate cancer. He was even bleeding while he was urinating. He went through a lot, and he took the olive leaf extract, and the cancer, the symptoms went away first in about 2 weeks, where he was no longer bedridden and no longer urinating blood. And then the pain went away. And then 3 months later, he was diagnosed with no cancer. And his testimonial is on my website as well, herbalresults.net. Then 2 months later, a woman called me called Velma Samuel, who had breast cancer with a breast tumor. And it was the same story. She said, thank you for saving my life. And I interviewed her, and her story is on the website. She had a tumor the size of like a quarter, the coin, and she took the olive leaf extract and it disappeared. And we chronicled her story. And then one thing led to the next, and I started looking at the parasitic theory of cancer and put together a protocol and wrote a book called The Successful Eradication of Cancer Using Intracellular Parasite Theory, and come up with a 3-step process in the protocol where it involves diet, immune system fortification, and anti-parasitics, namely olive leaf extract that we make at Herbal Results. And we've been getting some pretty good results. And one of those people who's had good results has actually called us to come tell his story. His name is Crawford Peterson. So Crawford, I'm sure Brother Hank is going to introduce you to the show and welcome you to the show. But, feel free to tell your story, man.
Yeah, welcome, Crawford. Glad to see your face in the place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Likewise. So my story is much like the other stories that HERU tells with the other testimonials. I was classified with stage 1 prostate cancer in 2019. Didn't do anything much about it because I wanted to do some research and, find out what was going on before they started. Because the first thing they said to me, oh, we're going to have to pull stuff out. I'm like, whoa. Let me do a little research. Let me find out what's going on. I wound up having like heart problems when I came home because I was in the DR for 12 years. When I got home, I was having all kinds of medical problems. One being that my PSA was at 40.625, which is 10 times higher than what they classify as cancerous at 4, PSA of 4. I had a 40.625. I'll never forget that number because it resonates in my memory when the guy told me that. I went on trying a whole bunch of other things, and I think I had a little bit of success, but not much because I was still, the doctors never told me about chronic inflammation. So to make a long story short, a couple of years later, I went to a 50. Then I went to 151 PSA. I was supposed to be dead, stage 3. 90% of my prostate was covered in cancer. They're talking about giving me all these drugs. They were giving me something called Flomax because I couldn't urinate. It was bad. The inflammation was so bad, it was crippling that they thought it had metastasized. So by this time, I met HERU. and I told him what was going on. He said, why didn't you say that from the beginning? I said, well, I didn't know because we had just met. We started doing some business and stuff. He said, man, I got something for you. So we started working on this website, and I started doing a research. What I saw on his website excited me. It was promising. I looked at it, started doing my own research. HERU knows how I am. I'll beat a horse until the horse will get up after it's been killed. So I got up and I did all this research and found out everything he said was correct. I found all the studies, all of the tests that were done, and it was just amazing. So he and I talked about a protocol, and I started the herbal leaf extract before I actually got onto the protocol because he had sent me a bottle. So right away, I started feeling the difference. Man, I could start to urinate. I was like, oh my God, it was crazy. So I got on the fast. It was his protocol. He said, do 100 hours. I said, okay. I did 5 days. I was serious about this. I stopped eating everything anything that had to do with inflammation. I stopped. That's cold turkey. No rice, no potatoes. I let everything that was white go. Let it all go. Went straight vegetarian. And I'm still a vegetarian vegan. So I got on my first 2 days on the protocol, the fasting protocol, was insane. My clarity, it was like somebody had given me a new brain. I hadn't thought like that since I was in my 20s or 30s.
Wow.
My second day, I felt a little hungry. He said, take a little salt, a little sea salt, put on some water, some lemon water, whatever, drink that down, it'll go away. And it did.
What are you talking about? Your hunger?
Yeah.
I think I might need to do some of that myself.
Well, yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
A little lemon with a little sea salt, because you're not hungry. It's just your brain is signaling that you're hungry.
Yeah, what's happening is that when you're fasting, you think you're hungry, and it's not. When you start feeling weak, it's not that you're hungry. And most people, it's not that they're hungry. Most people have a lot of fat reserves that they can live on, particularly people in America. A lot of fat reserves. So what's happening to you when you're fasting is that you start feeling weak because there's a lack of electrolytes. And what the sea salt does, because sea salt is highly mineralized, it adds electrolytes to the body. So the moment so you might be doing a fast and you go 24 hours, then you go into 36 hours, you start feeling weak. You can just take a quarter teaspoon of sea salt and add it to a cup of water and just drink it, and you'll feel all your energy come right back.
Wow. I'm going to remember that one, man.
Yeah.
It did. It came back. That was good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right. So this is how serious Crawford was that what I tell people is to do a 72 to 100 hour fast. So that's 3 to 4 day fast. Crawford was so serious about this, he did an extra day. So he went 5 days instead of 4. And really, by the time you hit a day and a half, you start triggering in your body what is called autophagy. So what autophagy is it's the body's natural cleansing and healing process where phagocytes find ruined cells, precancerous cells, and cancerous cells, and malfunctioning cells in the body and eats them alive.
Mm-hmm.
This happens when you fast. It's called autophagy. It takes about 36 hours to start getting into peak autophagy, and it'll last until around 72 to 100 hours. That's why I tell people to do at least a 72-hour fast and then up to a 100-hour fast. And I do a 100-hour water fast every 3 months.
Same
just
here.
to reset my body.
Yep.
Wow.
Same here.
So okay, Brother Crawford, hold your thought for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Professor HERU, I've been hearing people talking about fasting, eat one day and fast for 3 days or 2 days. Have you heard something like that?
Yeah. There's different modalities of fasting, and I mean, when you're sleeping, you're fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people use the word fasting, and they think it's just like crazy. I can't fast. And I have to. You're fasting when you're sleeping. You realize it. So there's a thing called intermittent fasting where you get, and Crawford will talk about it because this is what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically time-based eating or time-windowed eating. And what that is that you pick a set of hours in the day that you eat and you stick to it. It should never be more than 8 hours. But those who get the most dramatic results are the ones who do less. So some people, so if it's 8 hours, it'd be called a 16-8 intermittent fasting. 16 hours, no food, 8 hours window to eat. So that might be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's your food window. After 6 p.m., no food. Before 10 a.m., no food. You're just drinking water or water with lime in it. And that's what you're doing. Or ginger or whatever it is, but no food, no juices, no nothing, just water and anything you want to add to the water. So that'd be 16 hours. Some people do 18-6. So that's 18 hours no food, 6 hours to eat. Me, I do 24. So I do 20 hours no food.
Yep. 4 hours.
Every day I have a 4-hour window to eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's what I do.
That's it. And
you do that too, Brother Crawford?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think everyone should really start thinking about doing it, because what it does is it gets you to stop eating all day long, which causes you to trigger insulin all day long, and you develop insulin resistance, which leads to chronic inflammation, which leads to these diseases.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
Yeah. So if people could start just having a window to eat every day. I'm not saying that you all have to do 24 like me and Crawford, but what you're going to find out is that the people who do 24 tend to look good, tend to be sharp, tend to be not overweight, tend to, you can look at me and Crawford, and Crawford has his glasses on, but I just saw him this weekend. Crawford looks great.
He's profiling. Go ahead, bro.
He's about to be hitting 70, and
wow.
He looks great, and his energy's great, and he's not obese or anything. And he used to not look so good when I met him.
Yeah.
He was like on his last leg when I met him. He could barely do basic arithmetic. We'd be on a Zoom doing business, and he was having problems with numbers. He couldn't think straight. He couldn't read well. Like, he'd be reading things and he'd be mixing up words, and I could just tell something was wrong with his brain. And what was going on was that he was chronically ill, and he had stage 3 prostate cancer, also pre-diabetic, and a bunch of other things going on. He had inflammation all over his legs. He could barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk about it. Tell them all the symptoms you have, Crawford.
No doubt. I thought I was going to die. That's how bad it was. I was having pulmonary problems. I couldn't breathe. If I lay down, I couldn't breathe. Couldn't walk. The pain in my back and my spine was so bad. They thought I had metastatic cancer. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was inflammation. Idiots.
It's chronic inflammation. And so we start him out with the fasting. Well, he took the olive leaf first. So I tell people, take the olive leaf first for at least a week. The reason is that the olive leaf, you've got it right there.
I got mine.
Yeah. So
I'm going to start swinging tonight.
Yeah. Everyone's got it.
Yeah, everybody's got it.
Yeah, everybody's got it. So check this out. So what I tell people to do is you take the olive leaf for about a week. And what happens is that it will clear up the intestinal parasites that you may have. Because these intestinal parasites don't play when they don't get fed. They're the ones who cause the hunger pangs.
Wow.
And the cravings for sugar, because that's what they feed off of. So it makes fasting much more difficult when you've got intestinal parasites. And we all have them over time. So that's why grandma, if you're from the South or you're from the Caribbean, you're from Africa, you're from Mississippi or South Carolina, grandma would give us castor oil or turpentine.
Turpentine.
I got both.
And God bless Jennifer Daniels.
Oh, she's a great one. She's great.
I got to get her on the show.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so what happened is that as children, we used to get these worm washouts. And we stopped doing when we reached adulthood, right? So we no longer take the bitters. We never do any of those things. And if a child is clearing parasites and worms through their body, imagine what an adult has who hasn't done a parasite cleanse in 40 years.
Critters.
Right? Yeah. So that's what I do is, okay, you take the olive leaf for a week, clear your gut from all of these problems, these parasites, and then you can do the fast in a very smooth way. So that's what Crawford did. He got the olive leaf because when he told me he had this problem, I said, look, Crawford, I'm not going to wait for you to buy it. I'm shipping it to you.
You did?
Yep. I shipped it right away to him. He got it. He started taking it, and then he did the 5-day fast. And even after the 5-day, when he started taking the olive leaf, he was just telling me how much better he was doing. Then when he did the fast along with that, I think that's when things really started to turn around.
It was. That's about I lost weight. I tell you, I lost about 15 pounds that week.
Yep.
In 1 week?
In 1 week, just dropped off. It was all inflammation.
Yeah, it was all inflammation. Yeah. And anytime I do a 100-hour fast, I lose 13 pounds.
See, it's
clockwork. Every time I do a 100-hour fast, I lose 13 pounds. And it's 13 pounds of excess fat because your body goes into fat burning mode. It switches over from fat storage to fat burning after 12 hours.
And it's good for your brain, that blood-brain barrier.
Yeah.
Loves the fat.
So then Crawford starts introducing food, and it's all ketogenic food, avocados, and he's using coconut oil instead of the seed oils. You can continue telling them what you did in terms of protocol.
Absolutely.
What you got there, bro?
Organic coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
I live by this stuff, brother.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right? All of these seed oils that people are using, man, they're toxic. That's the canola oil, that's the corn oil, that's the soybean oil, because of the processing method they use. They use the seeds, and because they're using the seeds, you need thousands and thousands of pounds of like seeds just to get like a gallon of oil. And it's a process where they use hexanes, and it's very toxic that leaves you with a byproduct of linoleic acid. And linoleic acid is highly inflammatory. The only thing more inflammatory than linoleic acid is sugar.
Wow.
Right? So sugar is probably the most inflammatory thing that you can have. And we know it because of what it does to our teeth. It burns a hole in our teeth and it's called cavities.
Damn. What about cane sugar? Fresh cane sugar.
Same difference.
The body doesn't care where it gets sugar from.
It's sugar.
Wow.
It's glucose. So glucose is the problem, and this is why you end up getting high blood sugar, and they call it diabetes. But it's really just insulin resistance because your insulin no longer works to remove the glucose from your blood. This is the role of insulin. But when insulin gets tired, it ain't gonna remove all that glucose that's in your blood. So that glucose is left over. So then when they take your blood, they say you've got high blood sugar. But really what you've got is you've got sugar left over. So so what you've got to do is you cut out the sugar, you cut out the refined carbohydrates that is in almost all boxed food. People use the word processed food, but I don't think that that's a helpful term because people don't know how to identify it. So let me tell you how to identify processed food. Any food that's in a box
It's
It
processed.
does not, it does not require refrigeration. That's all the food in your middle aisles of the grocery store.
Wow.
Okay, and so
Anything in a box. There you go.
let me explain. Let me explain something to the beautiful people listening in the show. The food industry had one major problem. You know what that problem is? It's called the limiting factor. So in first principles thinking, you have what you call immutable truths, then you have also the limiting factors. So the limiting factor of the food industry is one thing and one thing only. You know what that is?
What?
Food gets rotten. That's their problem.
Yeah, that's the limiting factor.
That's their limiting factor. So they've got a problem. Food gets rotten. So what do they do to make sure that every piece of food that they ship doesn't go rotten, which means that they lose their money. They lose their return on investment. You see, if they ship food to grocery stores and it gets rotten in a day, they can't capitalize off of their investment because all of it is going in the trash. So what the food industry had to do was they had to prepare food for you and me that can be on the shelf a year.
In some cases,
without getting rotten.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
So what they do is they find out all the people in the United States who got PhDs in chemistry and hire them to work for them so that they can chemicalize your food with quote unquote preservatives, seed oils, and strip all the carbohydrate based foods of its fiber. That's where you start getting white rice, white flour, all of that. Because what they found is that it's the fiber that causes the degradation of the food.
Yep.
So when you strip it of its fiber, and they call it refined food, refined wheat, which means it's been stripped of its fiber, now they'll sell it to you because it takes much longer for it to go bad.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll tell people is just remember this maxim, or remember this word problem equation. The longer the shelf life of your food, the shorter the shelf life of the human being who consumes it.
Oh, shoot.
Okay?
Yeah.
So all of this food that you're eating in these boxes are chemicalized foods meant to restore or meant to preserve that food, but not to preserve your health. So every time you're eating these foods, these refined foods, these refined oils that, by the way, yeah, they call it refined and rich. And by the way, people should know that these vegetable seed oils, they were originally meant as lubrication for industrial equipment.
And cleaning them.
Yes. They
Just
weren't
sound like
meant for human consumption, but it was so cheap to make, they decided to just give it to human beings.
wow.
Right? So you should only be having vegetable oil. I mean, you should only be having coconut oil and not anything called vegetable oil. Now, people will say, can I have olive oil? I'll tell you this, most of the olive oil in America is stepped on product.
It's rancid.
Because they mix it with canola oil to stretch it out.
That's correct.
It is not pure olive oil. You'd have to get it directly imported from Italy or Greece or somewhere, or make it yourself from the olive fruit. But most Americans aren't going to do that. So I would not even recommend olive oil because most of it's not pure.
Correct.
Man, you know, you got me thinking about the olive oil they put on my pizza.
No, that's
Yeah,
garbage.
it's definitely got canola oil mixed in it because it's cheaper.
Now, I'll do avocado oil. And I
Yes.
get avocado oil from Dominican Republic. I use that avocado oil, and I use my coconut oil, which is all raw, unprocessed.
Yeah, I mean, that would be better. But I can just tell you that even with avocado oil, I've seen cases with avocado oil that they will mix it with canola because the color is green-yellow.
Oh.
Because it's the same color, they'll mix canola oil into it. But you can't do that with coconut oil because coconut oil is clear and turns white at 65 degrees.
Correct.
So this is very important that people switch over to coconut oil. It should be unrefined, organic, virgin coconut oil. They sell it at Costco.
Absolutely.
Professor, you know what just popped in my head? I see sometimes on YouTube where they actually suggest doing things like putting coconut oil in the navel. You heard about that?
No, I haven't seen that one. But I would.
Yeah.
So coconut oil is highly therapeutic because it has a thing called monolauric acid or monolaurin in it. And monolauric or lauric acid is the same thing in mama's breast milk. It's antiviral and it's antibacterial.
Still talking, you can listen.
And so coconut milk is very healthy milk. That is the milk that I advise people to use, not any other type of milk. These other types of milk, the soy milk is trash, almond milk is trash to a large degree. But if you use coconut milk, you're basically mimicking the ingredients of mama's breast milk.
Special acknowledgement to Coconut Rob. I was over there today at Nicholas. Coconut Rob, I had some delicious soup from Coconut Rob, and folks was coming in for the fresh coconut water.
You ever do the coconut add coconut milk to your soup?
Yes.
Oh,
it's real nice.
Yo, that's a good idea.
But I mean, I could go on for days and days, and we can save this for the lecture that'll be happening. And you put up the flyers.
Oh yeah.
Before you put the lecture on, let's just get through Crawford's story. I mean, we can chop it up, and me and Crawford can talk all day long about these types of things. But I just want the people to know the smile on Crawford's face. This is somebody who was basically given a death sentence 2 years ago.
Smile, brother, smile.
And he's alive and well, cancer free. Did not do radiotherapy, which they call radiation. He did not do chemotherapy, even though his doctors were trying to force him to. And to talk about your conversations with your doctors, Crawford.
Well, when I first went there, and they realized that they thought they had a victim, so they were talking about cutting it out and doing all this other stuff because my numbers are so high. It's something that needed to be done quickly, and I'm like, you're not cutting me quickly. That's not happening.
What they tell you when they cut it out? What they say you have to wear a diaper, right?
They told me I had to wear a diaper, and I probably would never have an erection again in my life.
Man, that don't sound fair at all, man.
Yeah, he said it was a 50-50 chance. I said, well, that's too high. That's not happening. And it was bad enough going through getting the core samples. That's tragic. I mean, I had to get it done to find out where I was and all that stuff. But
that's the biopsies.
Yeah, that's not a pleasant experience, I can tell you.
And here's the thing, too. What they don't tell you, the biopsies will raise your PSA because the biopsies cause inflammation. And it's a thing called inflammatory onchotaxis or surgical onchotaxis, which causes swelling in the area. And that swelling is a site of inflammation, which will raise your PSA.
Now here's the killer. I was already at 151 before they did the biopsy. So I can only imagine where it went after that.
Exactly.
And just the word don't sound healthy, man. That sounds painful.
It's not painful. It's uncomfortable because they numb it. They numb you up. But you're awake while they're going through this. So I just want you to know that.
So then what happened after the biopsies?
So after the biopsy, they did a PET scan. They says, well, with all the pain that you're having, your back pain, you can barely walk, your inflammation that you have, we think that it might have spread. I said, well, let's find out and go in. So after they go through all of this stuff, they come back and says, well, we don't know how it didn't spread, but it didn't spread. Because I had been trying some other things on my own prior to me meeting them. So I think some of that helped. But they still they didn't address my inflammation. They didn't address anything other than wanted to do a process, a procedure. That's all they discussed with me. So I left. Well, they gave me Flomax because I couldn't urinate. And they gave me some hormones to try to help with the cancer, I guess. But it chemically castrated me. So what does a chemical castration mean? That they give you drugs in such a way that you can't rise.
Damn!
You literally lose your ability to have an erection. So I did that for a couple of months. I said, nah, that's when I met HERU. And after HERU told me this and we got in that process, I dropped all of that stuff. When did we meet? When did we do that? That was in 2022?
Yeah, probably 2022.
The beginning of 2022.
Yeah.
You should hear the way y'all sound. Y'all sound like y'all did a bank job. What was that bank job? 2022?
But anyway, I got off the drugs, all of it. I dropped all. When I came out of the fast, I didn't take any drugs anymore. But they kept calling me. Said, "Yo, you need to come in so we can examine and find out what's going on." So I went. They did my PSA. They looked at the PSA scores and they looked at me. And one of the doctors said, well, we don't understand. You don't understand what? Are you doing something? I wouldn't tell them. He said, we don't.
The PSA numbers had dropped because the
They had
PSA
dropped.
numbers had dropped, and they didn't know. They were surprised that it drops, and they thought that he was still taking their medication. See, they're letting you know that they don't think that what they got for you works because they're surprised when the number dropped.
Yeah.
But he was not taking their medication. He was doing the herbal results protocol, caused the numbers to drop, and when the numbers drop, what they said to you?
They said, this is impossible. That was one of them. So we're talking about from January, February, all the way up until October of 2022, my PSA went down to 0.1.
So for this not to be lost on people, a 0.1 PSA is the PSA of an 18-year-old athlete. Anything above 4 is seen as danger for cancer or cancerous. He reached a 151, which is almost 40 times the acceptable number.
Wow.
40 times. This is when we met. He was around that. And so by the time that he's doing the protocol, starts feeling better, is able to walk, and I'm watching months go by and I'm watching Crawford transform into a different person. I'm actually watching it. But I'm watching it online because we had only met on Zoom. Just like we'd never met in person.
Wow.
So just keep in mind, like, he and I only met online. And so the beautiful thing is he was able to get this reversal from the comfort of his home.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to be in a hospital. He didn't have to do. And as a matter of fact, all the people who've gotten cancer reversals with me have been able to do it from the comfort of their home. And so they'll call me on the phone, ask me questions, or we'll do a Zoom and I walk them through X, Y, Z, and that's it. And then they get the reversals that go on with their lives and they end up becoming my friends. You know what I mean? So now here's the deal. Crawford goes in and they're like, wait, your PSA is 0.1. What's going on? He's not telling them because he doesn't want to tell them nothing, but they're not even showing any real intellectual curiosity. And
they wasn't happy for him?
Probably not.
Damn.
They didn't tell him congratulations. They didn't tell him.
They were upset. They weren't going to get that $25,000.
Where's the $25,000 to come in? Oh, to zap you. Oh, okay.
Well, the treatment they were trying to push on me, man, I wasn't going through that. I said, you're not cutting anything out, buddy. That's not happening.
Remember that they are incentivized to push these treatments because they get paid. So here's the deal. He refused, and so he became a. It's like watching $50,000 walk out your door, right?
That reminds me of the movie The Matrix where they disconnected him and flushed him.
Yeah. So
yeah, I got flushed, literally.
He became a lick that they never got.
Wow.
So when he now no longer needs them because his PSA is 0.1 and the numbers say it, and they also did a physical exam of your prostate, right?
Yeah, they did. I have all my paperwork. I can show my paperwork where they gave me the chart showing there was 90% coverage, 151 PSA, and my Gleason score. It has my Gleason score. I have everything, all of it, and I can show you the paperwork where it was 0.1.
Right.
So I got a question, Brother Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
When your PSA was high, and this is also Professor HERU too, what kind of attitude did you have while you had those critters that were running amok inside you?
I was sick, brother. I didn't think I was going to make it. I thought I was going to die. There were days I sat up in my chair because I couldn't lay down because I couldn't breathe. I was literally drowning in fluid, and they wouldn't treat me. They said, "Oh, we believe in the science." I'm like, "What science are you talking about?"
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die. That was the only.
Because remember, he'd been under their care for some time.
Yeah,
he was just getting worse.
2.5 years. 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, he was just getting worse.
And your PSA was high, sky high.
It kept rising.
It kept going up.
This is the point that I'm trying to make. You see, none of these.
They were going to let me die. It was two things. They were going to let me die, or I was going to let them operate.
That's a hell of a choice.
People got to hear these stories, man. And this is why, like, when I do these interviews these days, I'm just going to have, like, people with reversals just come and talk to y'all, because I can talk science. I can talk about the testimonials as much. But when you have the person here live telling you their story, it becomes more poignant.
Yeah, it does.
It becomes more, because I could be selling wolf tickets. I could be making this stuff up, and you'd be shocked the stories. So, all right. So for the audience to know, here's what happened recently. I have a lecture in Atlanta on reversing high blood pressure and diabetes and cancer without pharmaceuticals and without surgery and all that stuff. And the thing was to do the lecture, but 4 people came with cancer reversals. Crawford was one of them.
Oh, testimonies.
Yes. They came on stage with me, and we sat down and we chopped it up with the audience.
It was funny now. They say, "Oh, you remember when that was happening?" It's funny now, but we all survived it.
Yeah. And the stories that they had to tell. I mean, there was one woman there who literally went to go pick out her burial site.
She did.
And
Stage 4.
At the cemetery was somebody who knew me, who was working at the cemetery, who said, "You don't have to pick out your own gravesite. We got someone who can help you." And that woman called me that day.
Well, you know, they're going to start calling you Morpheus, brother.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want, man. Just, you know. The point is this, is that when you hear these people's stories, man, these are some very serious stories, man. There was one woman there, she was given 90 days to live.
Yep, the lungs.
And then another one with liver cancer spread all over her body. She's 76 years old. And
feisty.
Yeah. She took the olive leaf extract, and now she's cancer free, and she just ran a 5K marathon.
She did.
But here's the real interesting part of the story, Hank. This past Saturday was the first time I met Crawford in person.
Wow.
3 years and change.
Yeah.
3.5 years.
Yeah, we met for the first time in person.
Physically, yeah.
Physically. But we've been, you know, all this time, you know, he's gotten this cancer reversal and all of that, and we never met. And actually, all of the people there, except for one person, it was my first time meeting them.
That is so cool.
Like in person. We speak on the phone. You know, they get their reversals. I do the interviews with them, but I haven't met I'd say 99% of the people who've gotten reversals at Herbal Results, and I've videotaped them and they call me. I have not met any of them physically.
Could you give me a number? I'm gonna put it up here. If people want to call you, is that cool?
No.
Okay, we'll leave that alone.
No, I don't give my phone.
You won't get no sleep, man.
Well, I don't already, because what happened is that I don't charge people to talk, because I don't put a money on my time. I don't sell my time, so I don't charge for consultation. So I talk to people for free. But what has happened is that because I talk to people for free, most of my conversations, I would like to be stage 4 cancer people, right? But now, because people know somehow they'll get my phone number from another person or whatever, now I'm getting phone calls all day and night with people with, "I've got a headache. What can I do? I stumped my toe." Literally, I got that call the other day. HERU, I was running and jogging, and I stumped my toe. I've got an injury on my toe. Please tell me what I can do. People, I've got a toothache. What can I do? I've got blurry vision. What should I do? So I've become people's chat GPT.
Yes,
right?
you have.
So you know, people are calling me all day and all night, and it gets to be a bit. People know, but it's also an indictment because they're doctors. Here's the other thing is I have to spend time going with people. 80% of my calls is showing people how to look up the side effects of the medication that they're taking. People are taking medication and have no idea of the side effects of what they're taking, man. And when I show them the side effects, they're completely shocked, because what they found out is that, I'll give you an example. High blood pressure medication. Well, it causes kidney failure, acute renal failure. And it says it. on the medication, like losartan. It says, and now you've seen me do this live.
Yeah, yeah.
It says it. It literally
Yeah.
says it. It says kidney failure. 10% of people who take it.
Family, y'all gotta tap into the presentation. Because Professor HERU, you so generous. I want you to tease and don't give him too much squeeze on the information, because like Brother Crawford, this is awesome, man. Thank you, bro, for being on the channel, sharing your story.
No doubt. I just turned 64, man.
Blessed be, man. Blessed
Absolutely. Turned 64 in August, man. I'm looking to do another 20 of those.
Yeah, do it 20 times 5.
There you go. There you go. and I'm feeling good, man. I feel revived.
Let me put up the flyer, because Professor, I see that you give it up freely, brother. Much respect, much kudos. Hold on, let the audience see the whole thing. And I got a cousin Deb. She's asking me details. Cousin Deb, you got to go to the website herbalresults.net.
So I'll walk people through the website after this.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the lecture on Friday. The Kafunia put together in Nicholas, Brooklyn. I'll be back there. That is Friday, the next Friday, the 24th, and it is going to be at 5 p.m. And we're going to go over blood pressure and diabetes reversals and how you can reverse these things without medication. And I'm going to show you how to do it and show you the success and tell you the real cause of high blood pressure and the real cause of diabetes. They don't tell you. But once you understand it, you'll be able to solve your own problems.
Yep.
We'll go over cancer reversals as well. So that's that Friday. And then that Saturday, do you have the Saturday flyer?
No, I only have this one from Monique.
Okay, I have the Saturday flyer. So
yeah, you got my number? Well, you probably don't have my number, but
no, you can allow me to share it, because I can just share it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me share the flyer for the Bronx. I'll be in the Boogie Down Bronx that Saturday. And that Saturday, we're going to talk about reversing cancer along with high blood pressure and diabetes. So you're going to get a 3-for-1. Usually I do one topic, but I'm going to squeeze everything into one on that day. It won't probably be as detailed, but you're going to get the point, and you're going to understand everything so that you'll be able to solve your problems in the comfort of your own home, man. So we've got this. We're going to share the screen.
We're going to wrap it up in a minute.
Yep, we are. And this is it here that I want to show people. Are you able to see this?
Hold on. I saw something. Yeah. There it is.
See the flyer?
Yeah. I'm going to make it full screen. Family, you might have to amplify. See, October 25th. Let me read it off.
Mm-hmm.
October 25th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Green Earth
Apothecary.
153 Dreiser Loop.
Yeah. Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York, 10475.
Yep.
Suggested donation, reversing all the things that we need to be careful saying here on YouTube, because freedom of speech is controversial.
Yeah.
Empower your body to heal itself. HERU, how you pronounce OFORI-ATTA?
You got it.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, cool.
You got it. Perfect.
HERU, OFORI-ATTA.
Yeah, so that's 1 to 7 p.m., y'all. That's in Bronx. If you need the flyer or more information, you can email us at info@herbalresults.net. And before we do sign off, Brother Hank, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the website, because I know a lot of people are asking. And so I'm just going to show you all to navigate the site.
Can I excuse myself?
Yeah, you can cross.
Where you going, bro? Your demeanor, you come across like a musician. You a musician, bro?
Absolutely.
It comes through the screen, man. I'm picturing you with a saxophone or keyboard.
Keyboards.
Yo, that's crazy. Brother Crawford, I done did so many psychedelics, man. I half the time I'm high without anything anymore. But I just saw all this music around you, man, and that is so cool. Oh, wait. Oh, I just see what you did, bro. You just brought this up. Okay, what we're looking at here?
It's a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, Brother Crawford, keep the tunes coming, man.
Absolutely, no doubt.
All right, so this is the website y'all want to go to, herbalresults.net. And then probably the first thing you want to do is go to the testimonials page. So in the testimonials page, you'll see all these reversals. So the top reversals are here, and it's all segregated, right? And so you'll see, prostate, esophageal, endometrial, breast, prostate again, breast again, liver, stage 4 liver. You'll see
That is so cool.
stage 4 lung reversals. Well, this is with a medical doctor who had been diagnosed, and he, did the protocol as well with antiparasitics. Stage 4 lung and spread to the brain, and you've got prostate again, and you've got stage 4 adenocarcinoma with spread all over the lungs. Also diabetes and high blood pressure, all gone. Then you'll see also prostate cancer again. Then you see stage 4 liver cancer. So it's all there. And what you're going to do is just press play. That's all you got to do is press play.
Yeah, I see a lot of YouTube links too.
yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yep.
And they're some are on Rumble and some are on bb2me.com. So I put them on different places just so they'll be there for people. And I'm keeping a library. You'll see high blood pressure. You'll see diabetes. And everyone's just telling their story. This guy was going to get his foot amputated. You see before and after.
Wow.
And, we keep these stories and we keep these interviews just going, man. And so the first thing you want to do is look at the testimonials so that you know that this is real. Then the second thing you want to do, you can go to the shop page. On the shop page, you will see the book, The Successful Eradication, Using an Intracellular Parasite Theory. It's right there. It is a digital download book that you can get from anywhere in the world. You just get it, you buy it, you download it, and you have it forever. And it gives you the first chapter is scientific evidence. The second chapter is testimonials from all over the world. And the third chapter is the full protocol. And then here we have our maximum strength olive leaf extract, super strength. Maximum strength is stronger. Super strength is still stronger than anything else in the market. But we made something that's even stronger than that, which is the maximum strength. We also make our own vitamin D3 plus K2 is out of stock now, but should be back in stock in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And we also made magnesium, zinc, and selenium for people to take. Because what we realize is that the immune system needs these two things. The immune system needs vitamin D3 and K2. And then it also needs magnesium, zinc, and selenium. So this is for your immune system. And people's immune systems are completely depleted, particularly in the wintertime, because people are out in the sun. They're not out in the sunlight, and they're not getting enough sun, and they have low vitamin D. And then most people are deficient in magnesium, zinc, and selenium. So I decided to just make a product to solve all those problems. So that's it here. Then we also make a product called Moringa and Cilantro. We'll be back in stock sometime next week. Moringa is a superfood, and cilantro clears heavy metals from the body, and heavy metals block a lot of medicine uptake from being effective, because these parasites, viruses, bacteria, they actually hide behind heavy metals. So it helps you do a heavy metal cleanse with this cilantro powder mixed with moringa. We have CBD oil. We also have Vitex. Vitex we made especially for women, because a lot of women are estrogen dominant. They don't have enough progesterone. We don't have enough progesterone to balance off the estrogen. You end up getting these gynecological problems like endometriosis, fibroids, cysts, heavy menstrual bleeding, menopause symptoms. You start getting even tumors form. Fibroids and malignant tumors as well will form if you are estrogen dominant. You don't have enough progesterone, and Vitex chasteberry causes the body to create natural progesterone and balances out the estrogen. You'll start seeing all types of problems start to be reversed. This is specifically made for women, because I have so many women calling with these problems. And the problem 9 times out of 10 is that they're just simply estrogen dominant, but your doctor just wants to give you a hysterectomy. That's what they do. So we have that. And then we also have an anti-parasite package as well that you can get. And we have ketogenic recipes. We have a detox kit for you. It's digital. You can follow it to help detox. And then we also have t-shirts that says diabetes reversed, hypertension reversed. So if you're somebody who is proud of what has happened to you at Herbal Results, we have t-shirts that will be able to speak for you, where you wear it and it has a QR code where people can click the QR code like if you walk in a grocery store and someone's interested in what you're saying about your diabetes being reversed, all they gotta do is just click the QR code and take them straight to the website.
Yo, that's a good idea, bro. That's a good
Yep.
idea.
So we have all of these things on the website, man. So I just would tell people, spend some time on the website. We have the scientific studies for all of these products, where you can look up the scientific studies. For instance, the olive leaf extract science. We break it up to different diseases, high blood pressure and olive leaf extract studies. You see all these studies. Olive leaf extract and diabetes. You see all these studies. Olive leaf extract and viruses, bacterial and fungal infections. You see all these studies. And you will notice that all these studies are from the United States National Institute of Health.gov website. These are not HERU studies. These are government studies telling you exactly what I'm saying and telling you how olive leaf extract gets rid of all of these problems. And they know it, and they have it on the government website. Look at this, olive leaf extract right there. And you see all these studies.
Wow.
Okay. Olive leaf extract in pain, olive leaf extract in Parkinson's, olive leaf extract in autoimmune illnesses, olive leaf extract in inflammation. All of these studies on the U.S. government website that we just put there, let you all read for yourself. So, we've done what we can do, man, in providing people evidence of how they could reverse these problems in a very, very consistent way without toxicity, man. So that's it. Just go to herbalresults.net. Those of you all in the New York area, I'll be in Brooklyn on Friday, next Friday coming, Nicholas, Brooklyn, and I'll be at the Herbal Apothecary on that following Saturday. If you're, uptown or you're in the Bronx, come holler at me, and we're going to get a good lecture. Bring your family, bring your friends. Everybody is sick with something. So they could just come to this lecture and solve these problems, in short order in a very inexpensive way.
Yep. This is excellent, bro. Excellent presentation.
Yeah, man. So we want to big up women like Kafunya, woman like Monique, man like Brother Hank, you know what I'm saying, for making this possible for people to get this information, because when you get this information, it's not about like, hey, take this or buy this herb. It's about learn why you're sick and learn the mechanisms of action to heal yourself.
I'm gonna take a swig tonight. I'm gonna mix it with my water.
Yeah, man.
Look, family. I'm halfway through the bottle. I might as well finish polishing the rest of it because I did half the bottle and I felt good. And then I was like, let me just keep it as stash. But family, look, I got the bottle. It's thick. You got to make sure you shake it up. And then I would do like a cap full and 8 ounces of water. So I'm going to do that tonight.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again, Professor HERU. This was an excellent. I'm glad you're here, bro. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you in this mission. Like I called you the last show, family. I said, Professor HERU is our Ibrahim Touré of health. Did y'all hear me? I'm gonna say it again. Professor HERU is our Ibrahim Touré of health. And y'all put in the comments, can we get an ashe? Here it comes. Yep, they say thank you. Yeah, you got a nice crowd here, man. They're loving everything you shared. Look at that. Bam.
I'm happy to be on. Happy to,
we see the ashes are coming in. Bam.
Happy to, provide value for your listeners.
Yep.
If y'all in New York, see y'all in New York. If not, I'll probably be in your town at some point giving a lecture. But you can always catch me on herbalresults.net. We're posting new serious illness reversals almost every week or two on our website. And we're just creating our own library for ourselves in the spirit of Kuji Chagalia, which is self-determination. Because when everything boils down to it, we're on our own.
Yep, you got that right.
We have to solve our own problems. And so hopefully Herbal Results is adding on to the solutions package that our people have created throughout the years, where we know that we have to engage in the correction of all the ills around us in all ways and forms. So on the health issue, I think that we have a pretty good track record of these reversals, and we just keep on keeping on. And the crazy thing is I've got a lot of doctors who come to me who are sick themselves, who don't want to take the pharmaceuticals aren't working. And so, we put them on the program, and, they get their results. And some of them agree to do testimonials. Some of them are embarrassed. Some of them don't want to talk about their problems. I mean, it's crazy, man. That's a whole show unto itself.
Yep. Then thank you, California. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, family. Thank you, everybody. With that being said, ready to wrap it up, brother?
Yeah, I'm done. Just, the website is on the bottom of my name here, herbalresults.net, and just holler at me there. You get the products there. But before you buy the products, please watch the testimonials so you get an understanding of why you need the products to reverse these problems, and how you can change your diet. There's an instructions page as well. Everything is on the website for you. So, just do a little due diligence. And if you like what you see and hear, go ahead and get the products. If not,
let me see. Oh, go ahead.
If not, go ahead and take lisinopril and metformin and all that other stuff. It's up to you. It's up to you, but you just need to be informed. That's all. And a lot of people taking medication without informed consent. You haven't been informed of the side effects of the medications you're taking. And we're going to cover a lot of that on Friday and Saturday next week.
Excellent. California, we're getting ready to wrap it up. Any last word? California might be doing something else. All right. Brother HERU, family, hope forward to seeing you at Nicholas Bookstore. Ashe, Aho, Ubuntu.